It's working, isn't it? Yes, it is. I can hear myself now. Well, thank you for your patience here, folks. As I was coming out, Neil Parkinson's phone rang, and of course we want to give every buyer the opportunity, so it's just clarifying a couple of last minute questions for the properties here. My name is Stephen Shale, and of course I'm assisted today by Judy. Judy is here, very excited to tap all your bids into the computer. She'll show them up on the screen for you, and she also stands on my toes if I say something incorrect. And Dean File, who's our General Manager for Taranaki. In the event that we have bidding which is paused, I'll take some assistance and guidance from Dean, who is the boss today. Now, of course, our auctions are governed in accordance with the Real Estate Institute best practice, and as buyers you would have also received the Real Estate Agents Authority buyer guides. In auctions, you're bidding on a cash unconditional basis, so that means that all of your due diligence is completed before today's date, and that may include building reports or LIM reports, council file inspections. Certainly finance does need to be in order and legalised to the contract. And if you're happy to bid on the terms and conditions, of course, we'll give you every encouragement to do so. Of course, we also have, along with our in-rooms audience, we've got an online audience. I don't take bidding from the online audience. Any parties that wanted to bid online would come through telephone bidding as we would have authorities for that, and I don't have any authorities signed. So the online audience, welcome to watching. Now, with the properties, both of them are offered with vacant possession. Of course, I remind you of your obligations under the Overseas Investment Act, which requires you to be a New Zealand resident or citizen, an Australian or a Singaporean of the same, to buy either of these properties on a cash unconditional basis. Outside of those groups, please refrain from bidding, because you will need to obtain a consent and you need your contract to do so. Of course, our offer calls for a 10% deposit. The deposit is part payment of the purchase price. The settlement dates vary, so I'll highlight those as we get to the individual lots here today. In both cases, you're bidding on an inclusive GST basis. Now, with regard to the conduct of auction, we'll put that up on the screen for you. It's also in the terms and conditions, and they're available in the entranceway in clauses 2.1 to 2.8. So for each of the properties, they have a reserve price. Subject to the reserve price being reached, the highest bid will be declared the purchaser. If I have a disputed bid, I'll simply go back to the last undisputed bid. And of course, once bidding starts, I'll nominate risers from time to time suitable to the value of the properties. It makes sense to consider that a higher rise will be appropriate for a more expensive property, and the reverse at the entry level. Of course, I can, whilst I can refuse bids, I may also bid on behalf of the sellers at any level up to the reserve price, but there is a clear rule. I'm the only party that can place vendor bids, and they must be declared, so you won't be misled as buyers. And of course, bidding is one thing that will separate you from your competition. And finally, with regards to disputed bids, of course, as I said, I'll be the sole arbitrator. Yesterday I had an interesting auction. I had 7 people all trying to bid at the same time. So be very clear in your nomination of your funds or your acknowledgement of the rise that I nominate, and I'll go with the first party I see. So don't hold back if you do have an interest. You want to be the highest bidder in the event that bidding doesn't reach the reserve price. I'll approach the highest bidder in the first instance, and you'll be the first party to know where our sellers want to sell at. And if we can get some agreement on auction terms, then everyone benefits in that case. If we don't achieve a sale satisfactory to our sellers, then we simply open the property up to stage 2, where all parties, conditional or otherwise, are invited to treat the properties. And Neil and Leo, you've told me you've got a lot of those people. So a lot of people with houses to sell haven't quite put themselves in a position. So we're going to treat with the cash first as we move to the properties. But I tell you, if you're in a cash position, take advantage of that situation. And then finally, you can move to the next lot for me, Judy. Finally, successful purchases. We do ask you to remain behind. We'll sign the documentation here in the office before you leave, and we'll make arrangements for your deposit to be paid by electronic transfer. So the first of the properties here, and I've been up to both of these beautiful properties here today, and they offer some exciting vistas. In the property here at Upland Road, well, there's an Upland Road in Remuera, so this must be the Upland Road of Taranaki, because the calibre of the houses associated with this subdivision were very extensive, and the views were very enhanced with the view out to the sea. The lights of the city went on, of course, in the daytime, but I was promised that the stadium lights come on, don't they, Mark? And of course the twinkly lights there, and nice and sheltered too. There was a windy day there today, and the gully just shoveled that wind away from the house. It's a big house indeed in its floor size, 411 square metres more or less, and your accommodation is provided to you through 5 or 6 bedrooms, I counted, through the home if you count the annex or the attic room, and an expansive living area which framed the vista out through those picture windows for you. So big in scale of land. I'll go through the legal description for you with a fee simple estate in the old 10 acre block at 4.0281 hectares more or less. It is lot 3. The deposit plan number is 360463 and the record of title from the Taranaki Land Registry is 245834. Your chattels list, as you would have seen in the documentation, includes the stove. We have the fixed floor coverings along with the blinds, the curtains and the light fittings. There's also the dishwasher, 2 heated towel rails along with the gas hob and range hood. The refrigerator is included along with the washing machine taps, the water pump, the water trough. There's the chook house, the electric fence unit and 3,000 litre water tanks you have too. There is a condition inserted for a related party, with the seller being a member of the staff here at Bayleys, not the marketing agents of course, and vacant possession, as I said, 3rd of July. So a beautiful property. You can see behind me now the view all the way into the township from the site, and of course the hobbyist or someone who's moving out of town, you want more space, or maybe you're coming in off a larger farm and you're not quite ready to be close into a residential setting. You can enjoy this with the top nice flat paddocks there, and then you've got the gully that falls away from the house there with the beautiful pond area too. It's been well fenced over the space here, and beautiful pasture. And I think I saw a couple of coonies in the front there, so, and a couple of goats, so they'll be pets. So someone told me I'm looking a little bit like a goat at the moment too. So we won't mention names, but we will move to the bidding. Right, well, who's going to call an opening bidder offer now for lot 1? Your chance to express your cash interest for our sellers. It's the Adams family coming in, did you hear that? I'll need you to start, otherwise we will set it aside. We're going to go straight to stage 2 with conditional parties, but don't get a cash response. And that's what we'll do. We'll set the property aside and I'll close the auction. Of course, Neil Parkinson is here to take your questions on Upland Road. So the second offering we have, we're staying in the lifestyle theme. This time we're heading up to Hurworth, and we've got Carrington Road, number 1347. Now up here we have a fee simple estate of just over the acre there with 1.0428 2 hectares, and we've got a record of title number being 650136. Your chattels list, that remains unchanged to what was distributed, with the stove, the fixed floor coverings, the blinds, curtains and the light fittings all included on the front page. And then in your further terms you'll also find the dish drawer, 2 garden sheds, you've got 1 heat pump, 2 heated tail rails, the gas hob, the range hood, the refrigerator, security system, washing machine taps and the shade sail on the patio. With regards to settlement date, vacant possession this time the 24th of July, so a little bit longer from today, 6 weeks. More than enough time to entertain perhaps selling your house or packing up your house if you were the ones making the move. So again, this was one very park-like retreat as we slid up the hill towards the mountain there. You can see how it embraces outdoor living to its best. A very high spec home. I made the comment in the kitchen, is it new? But it wasn't. It was 7 years old. You wouldn't know that looking at the modern nature of the kitchen, and it floated again to an oversized living area. The master suite was separated from the balance of the house, so you're away enjoying your own little vista of the localised garden with the other bedrooms at the entrance of the house. Very light and bright and contemporary in its open plan. Idyllic spot again with the mountain framing the ranges there, the gardens and the countryside, and all the hard work's been done and the hard landscaping outside for you too, so it's simply one to enjoy, potter around and enjoy the peace and quiet, being only 10 minutes from the city. But we could hear a pin drop there. It was more like birdsong, wasn't it, Neil, as we were out there this afternoon. Well, I'm going to race again to the opening bid request. Who's going to start me away for this property here at Lot 2? 2 beautiful properties up for offer here today. Again, you'll need to start me because of the conditional interest. We'll deal with those parties following. And we'll close the auction for the second time. So put the hammer down. Both properties are open for your consideration on a conditional basis also. Please don't read anything into the response to the marketplace here. We've got a number of parties. I'm sure we'll see some sold stickers on these properties as we come to expect with our clearance rates and auctions around the facilities. Busy days in both Hamilton and Taranaki during the week, and we welcome you back here in a fortnight's time, Dean. I think we've got 5 up for your consideration, so certainly some good variety coming to the marketplace for you. So thank you very much for your attendance, your attention, and we wish you well in your property searches into the future. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.